If you love somebody enough, you go where your heart wants to go. That's how I got to Memphis. Yeah. Could y'all hear that? I didn't know you could hear it. Hey, I had to get psyched up. That was the Avett brother. I think it's how you call them. Avett, Avett brothers. Song was That's How I Got to Memphis. That's How I Got to Memphis. Tom T. Hall wrote that song. But the Avett brothers, man, they forevermore sing it. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them, but they kind of out there a little bit. Hey, Tony Renee. Let's see, we got Momming with Charity. Momming with Charity, if y'all don't know, is my daughter. And she is one of my mods here. Daniel's Homestead came in a little bit early. I'm sure if they're stepped out, they'll be right back. Rebecca. Hey there, Rebecca Davis. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. Lost another brother-in-law. Bless your heart. Well, we're sorry to hear that, Rebecca. I'll tell you what, y'all been going through it here lately, hadn't you? Hadn't been too long ago that she lost another one. Let's see, Spring Meadow Farm and Garden. Hey, Zany May. Good morning. Y'all get over and check out Spring Meadow Farm and Garden. I want to say Zany May's over there in Florida, but they have a neat place over there, and just I like watching how they go about doing the projects and stuff. There you are, Erica from Daniel's Family Homestead. Yeah, we certainly need to pray for Rebecca. I tell you what, my brain has been so scattered here lately. Y'all know I need a haircut too. I'm getting a little shaggy. I have been so scatterbrained. My mom went, hey, Tim. Good morning, Mr. Blue Collar Homestead. I guess y'all preparing for the weather too. Up there in West Tennessee. But my mom had went to the hospital last Thursday, I think. Yeah, it was Thursday because I had my live that night with Cody and went up there. But anyway, yeah, compost tea in the garden. They got a setup, and I go from one thing to the other, and I apologize, but Spring Meadow over there, they got a setup where they run some lines all the way out through their garden, and they pump it from a pond and shoot it out over there. So they're compost tea. Pretty cool. Good morning, Heather Lynn from Garden to Table with Heather Lynn. We also have Hog Deer 79. Just talking about you, I think we had Hog Deer Cody on our program on our live Thursday night, and we were so glad to have him. We really enjoyed that. Got Trinity and Tim. Got Blue Collar Homestead and Mr. Blue Collar Homestead. She's making dog good. I'm just assuming dog food. I don't know. She's making something. She's either making a dog good or she's making dog food. If she's making dog good, I need her to come to my house. Oh, making dog food. Tim and Trinity was on our program as well. All right, look, I'm going to try and get around here in just a second. I know y'all come to see Glen and Jessica, and that's what we all come. That's who we all come to see. But let me tell you this: a few years ago, I started following our local news channel on Facebook. I've done that because of the weather. I could care less about what they're trying to spout in the news. They don't get me started. Don't get me started. But I follow it because, the weather. I like to, when the weather comes up, I like to be able to follow it and see where it's headed and all that. Make sure we got everything we need. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, isn't it, Tim? But so I started following them, and I also follow a channel out of Shreveport, Louisiana. The reason I do that is because they're a little bit north and west to us, and a lot of times these fronts come through in that direction. Hey, RG Homestead, good morning. But anyway, that's the reason I started watching. But now they flop up on there, unless they have some kind of weather event like they got. It's just nonsense is what it is. Hello, Brenda. Redbird Farm. Miss Lady Cruiser. She's a cruiser. And also a fine person. But anyway, now they're just basically gossip channels is all they are to me. They just clickbait. They just try to get people on there, and I don't know. You done got me started. They make me so mad sometimes, but they had this thing on there about where this fella slapped this other fella at some kind of program or awards thing or something. I don't know what it was, but anyway, the dumbest thing you ever seen in life, and they making it big and all that. And I thought, isn't that just the silliest thing that you ever saw in your life? Crazy, isn't it? Mr. Boots and Bounty's here. I didn't see him pop up. Stephen, wherever you are, appreciate you coming in. Momming with Charity's here, and I told you that's my daughter. And her little girl is 5 years old. That's my oldest grandbaby. And she had her first T-ball game Saturday. And I went out there to watch it. But when I drove out there was like over 3,000 people out there. You had to park like a mile and a half away. So I just drove through the parking lot and drove on out. I told Charity I'll get her the next time. Will Smith hit Chris Rock about for making a joke about his life. I don't care. They can all hit each other for all I care and go off into the ocean. It's just nonsense what they're putting on the news nowadays. You got me fired all up. And I was just listening to That's How I Got to Memphis from the Avett Brothers. Psyched up, worked up, excited, and now I done got all flustered because of two idiots on the news. All right, the ocean. What was I talking about? Y'all done got me all sidetracked. Charity, the baby. She was, y'all, I know everybody's grandbaby is the favorite, but me and you will never agree on that. Mine is the best. And if you got some and you think yours is the best, I'm going to let you think that. But we'll never agree on that. She was so cute. She hit the ball. She played T-ball, and she hit the ball off the tee and run right down to third base. And then she was out in the field. She was playing in the dirt. And then she went into the outfield. I don't know what she was doing out there. She was the only one in the outfield. And, of course, Charity's all, get back up here, Riley. Get back up here. You need to get back. No, Nick, it's all right. Don't start that again. And I told Charity, I said, look, they don't need 12 pitchers. I mean, all of them was around the pitcher's mound. And Riley went all the way out to the outfield. Oh, there's Gail. Hey, Gail. I don't know if I spoke to you or not. Gail, Southern Living. It's good to see Gail in the chat. And anyway, Riley was out there, and it was so hilarious. And I was so enthralled. Listen, I was so enthralled with the ball game. I went to the field next to it to watch the coach pitch boys. To get a little action. You got to get a little action. Anyway, if you love somebody enough, you go where your heart wants to go. Everybody, that's how I got to Memphis. Woo! Boy, that fired me up. If you had never listened to the Avett Brothers sing That's How I Got to Memphis, you got to watch it. They got a Japanese bass player in there. I kid you not. That dude is stoned out of his mind. You just watch him. He is stoned out of his mind every time he's on there. Blues. I see Charity's putting Blues Self-Reliance. I didn't even see you come in. Glenn, are you going to be on Chuck's live stream? Hey, don't get smart with me, Nick. Hey, Dreamy Days. All right. Fuss at me all you want to. I don't care. I'm about to get them up. All right, everybody. Chuck is awake today. I keep looking at my hair, but it's on this side. It's aggravating me, y'all. My hair is getting too long. All right, everybody, put your hands together and let's all make welcome Glen and Jessica to South Mississippi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Glad we can be a part of it this morning.
Hey, man, I'm glad we finally got up there with you. Y'all, I tried to, I was singing it.
Well, I think only we could hear it. I don't know that the actual live could hear it, but we were digging it.
When it was on the on my TV in there, yeah. I didn't know y'all could hear it. I was just
we noticed.
Huh?
We noticed.
Oh, goodness gracious! I'm gonna have to pay better attention next time. Stand up and clap. Welcome, Glen and Jessica. Hold on. I forgot. I could put
Good morning, Nick.
Hey, I don't know how long it's been, but I think I text y'all or email, and then I don't know if it went to my spam or something, or I don't know what happened. But and then I finally got a hold of you through a text or through a message, or I don't know how it happened. I don't know. Anyway, we finally connected. Got up with you, and I'm not slacking either.
Now, we are here this morning.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I know y'all are busy folks, and anybody that's got three boys. Are they 6, 9, and 12 still?
You're good. Yeah. Until about a month, and then we'll be 6, 10, and 12.
Yep. Our middle one turns 10 on April 30th. So
I see a pattern there.
But here in about a week, Jessica turns really old in about a week.
Oh, goodness gracious. Boy, you're about to be in bad trouble. Do I need to sing again?
Yeah. Happy birthday will be the song this time, Chuck.
Happy birthday. We'll all sing. I'll just open the live stream up where they can all get up here on the screen, or have many, and we'll all sing to you.
There you go.
Now
get her blushing.
He's 7 years older than me, so he likes to remember when I get older, he's still older.
Do you know I'm 7 years old? Well, it all depends on about 6.5 years older than Blenda.
I'm not quite 7, but 6 and just a little shy of 7 years.
We'll just keep it at 7.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Blenda, she always messed with. When I turned 40 years old, my eyesight went. I couldn't see squat. My hair started falling out. I started hunching over, started fussing at everything. And she said, I'd say, well, I'm getting old. And she said, Chuck, you're not old. You're only 40 years old. And of course, back then she was only 33. And so she could say that. And then, of course, when she turned 40 and her eyesight started to get a little bad, she started to have some issues. I started picking on her. And you're getting old. You're not old.
I keep waiting for Jessica's eyesight to go bad. That way she don't want to leave as I start getting older. So,
I'm married. I'm a preacher, and I have officiated a few weddings. I got where I don't do that much anymore because I just don't like it. I don't like. People can go to the justice of the peace for all I care. Hey, look, the Bible never told me I had to marry people or officiate things. So I just do it as a, because just for special occasions. But I've got to where I started mentioning, when you're young and in love and you're good looking and you're healthy and all that. I started mentioning now you're going to have to love her when she wakes up in the morning and she don't have makeup on, and her hair's a mess and her breath stinks, and you're going to have to love him when he's walking around scratching his belly and so forth and so on. Hey, Virginia.
It's true.
Y'all say hello to Miss Virginia. Miss Virginia's sweet.
You have to pretend that you liked performing my wedding.
What?
Your daughter's calling you out.
I didn't like it. In fact, that was one of them I really did not like.
That's why she said you had to pretend you liked it.
Oh, okay. Hey, that was tough, y'all. That was tough, having to see my daughter go off to marry some old nasty guy. But they got me 2 grandbabies. Yeah, do. I went back and I watched y'all's very first, and I got a little bit confused. Y'all straightened me out. I thought I seen where y'all had started your YouTube channel like 2 years ago.
We did, and then
I don't know if it was 2 years ago. It was a ways back.
It was probably about, I don't know, 8
year and
months,
a half
year and a half, something like that. It was a little while back before we actually picked it back up, but we did it, and then we were kind of praying about it and everything, and then just kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit because it was taking up some time, and we just didn't have the balance that we wanted and stuff. So we kind of put it on the back burner for a little while, and then we picked it back up, I think, in January.
And we deleted all the old videos too because we learned a lot since then.
Did you? I wondered about that because I went back and I looked, and all I could go back to was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, they've been on here this long and just now putting out videos. I said, well, that's kind of new. I figured I was missing something.
Yeah, we deleted all the old videos and stuff. The content and everything, flying by the seat of our pants and stuff, didn't really have much direction on it. So it kind of some goofy videos and stuff. So we got rid of those and then started everything fresh. So
I may have to do that. I cringe when I look at my old video. Well, I probably cringe at the ones now, but
I think the very first video I found of yours, Chuck, was the one where you were. It was your little "Am I a Homesteader" collaboration, and I laughed the whole way through that thing.
That was an instant automatic subscribe.
Hey, look, the winter was hard on me, y'all. It was hard on me. I had to do something to at least get me through it, and besides that, if I get too serious, people will think I know something, and then I have to prove that I have. They'll find out that I don't know anything at all.
Then they might start looking to your channel for information.
Yeah. Oh no.
So we've tried to keep all of our stuff not around like this is what you need to do, but more so like this is what we're doing and we're trying this and just sharing what we've learned through trying what we're trying. And
yeah, this works for us. It may not work for you. So
hold on, I'm trying to. I have a hard time doing 2 things at one time, so I was trying to kind of read the chat and do back and forth. But I went back. That first video y'all put out is kind of like an introductory video, or the first one that you kept, I guess, when y'all restarted.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. Y'all moved. Y'all had a desire to move out, I guess, of the city area or from whatever you was at. And move and start the kind of lifestyle that you have now. And I mean, you made a conscientious effort at doing that. It wasn't just something that you just kind of fell into. I mean, it looked like you researched.
We had bought land. So I was born and raised in the town that we were living in and swore to him that we would absolutely never move. And, we had bought land there and had started, like we were ready to pour concrete for our forever home and realized that was not God's plan for us. That was our plan. And so we said, okay, that's it. It's going on the market. It was sold within a few days. And then from there, like everything just perfectly fell into place. And he kept saying, I feel like God is really putting it on my heart for us to do more of like a homesteading direction with our life to get more self-sufficient. And so we just started planning and preparing. And when we moved out here, it wasn't but like a few days later and we had chickens and rabbits and all of that. So
it didn't take long, did it?
No.
We jumped in both feet.
We tend to do that.
I can't remember the first video and I don't even know how I got to y'all's channel, to be honest with you. I don't know if I've seen you comment on somebody else's video, or else if maybe you was on a live.
It may have been my comment, because I think I commented on the first video that I watched of yours, in my Homesteader video. I found it, and I think I commented on there. So
That may be it, Glenn.
That may be how we got in contact.
I do like to, if somebody comments on my video, I'll go check them out. And some people that comment, they don't even have content on their channel.
Yeah,
right.
We're just on there to help support and watch. And Tim says that chickens are the gateway animal. Was that y'all's gateway, or was it rabbits?
We got the chickens first.
They came at the same time.
But they actually came at the same time. But honestly, rabbits, they're super easy to raise and keep.
And quick.
And they reproduce quickly. The meat and stuff is so much easier to, when you're skinning them and stuff like that, it's so much easier and cleaner to process than chickens and everything, even though, you get eggs from the chickens, but the rabbits just give us so much more than the chickens do. Right. And I would say they're actually easier to take care of, because the coops and stuff, our chickens have the coops, and we kind of baby them, or she does a little bit. So we have very clean chicken coops and everything. So she's cleaning them out, mucking them out every couple of months, and putting fresh bedding in there for them. So
little animals.
I would say the rabbits are a super, super easy and nice first animal to have, but chickens definitely are most people's go-to animal first.
And y'all, and somebody, Charity, put up, and I think you already done it, but put up Glen and Jessica's channel again for the newcomers that come in. And I know that they can find you on their own, but I like to go ahead and put your channel up. Y'all need to go watch. They put up, they got the different rabbit cages, got like a little shed or house or what, I don't know what you call it, where you got some of your rabbits, or I guess all of them. I don't know. I know one time I seen you going into the little shed there to feed them, but you also have a video out on the cages.
Yeah.
That you put together. They look like they were very, very simple to put together to me.
They're super easy to put together, and by far the easiest ones to keep clean and stuff. We don't really have to do anything to them. Everything kind of falls through on their own. You saw the demo video where we tore the old cages out that were in there, and they were built out of wood and chicken wire and stuff. And that wood just really trapped a lot of the manure and the pee and stuff on the wood, and it just not very clean. So we tore those out and put in those, the KW cages is what they are. And by no means are we sponsored by them, or else it'd be a whole lot less expensive for getting them.
They say them rabbits, they like to chew too, on the wood and all that. Yeah. I imagine cages that y'all got is a lot cleaner and probably healthier for them.
It is. We switched to different water bowls in the winter because we don't have heated waterers or electric out there. So we switched to a rubber water bowl, and the rabbits, some of them have chewed half the water bowls up, and they're not cheap water bowls. So
I wouldn't imagine. I seen where you had the water, the rubber, whatever kind of water things that you put it in. And I remember you saying that it was easier to get the ice out of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something.
A lot easier.
There's a lot of people on here in the chat. Can y'all see the chat?
We can see it. I see 7 people in here, but there might be more. I just can't see them all.
Yeah. It's showing it's like 22 people in here watching.
Okay.
At least on my end. But I forget a lot of times that that people that are on the live with me may not be able to see the chat, and I forget to put up posts. There's a lot of people. Hey, Leanne, by the way, it's good to see you.
We had Glenn's phone sitting here so we could kind of see.
Yeah,
we can follow the chat there.
I know it's kind of hard to follow, at least for me it is.
Yeah. Leanne actually, I was in a live the other night, and she actually said something in there that I didn't know. But when you like these YouTubes and stuff, when you go and subscribe to somebody's channel, I didn't know that it didn't count, and they'd remove you. YouTube would remove you if you didn't watch like one or two of their videos and at least comment on one. We were been losing some subscribers and stuff here and there, and I was like, man, what in the world's going on? And I guess that's probably what was happening, was just people would subscribe and just not watch a video or anything or comment. So we would lose it. So I didn't know that.
I didn't know. Well, I had heard that, but I guess I've lost a few that somebody mentioned that, and I seen them. I said, well, I hadn't heard from them in a while. So I went back and checked, but in all fairness, it may have been because I clicked on them, subscribed to them, and forgot to watch them. Mm-hmm. But most of the time when if I'm in a live stream and I see a channel, I'll click on it and I'll subscribe and I'll wait till the channel's over and I'll go back and watch it. But most of the time I will watch at least 2 videos and I'll comment and I'll say something about it. And that may be the reason why I don't lose that many people that I have subbed to. But I've heard a lot of people say that you could lose them.
Well, I was unaware until the other day. So now I try to watch videos and at least make a comment on them. So
yeah, so we usually subscribe to as many as we can, and then we'll go back and watch some. But yeah, it's hard to remember who you subscribe to. So we were old school.
We're writing
like
down
making
now.
a list of who we haven't seen, so we can go watch. But we don't always comment. We try to, but we get a little tied up in the phone in our hand nonstop that we're trying to be mindful of that too.
Let's see what we got here. Nick from AZ Highland Homestead says that y'all have 420 subscribers, which is 3 more than when I checked just a little bit earlier.
That's three before the chat.
Okay. And
that's a good idea.
Want to get them to 500. You're talking about charity?
Yes, I like that idea.
When I subscribe to a new channel, I automatically add their latest video to my watch later play, so I don't even know how to make a watch later playlist. I don't know how to do all that kind of stuff. If I don't do something right now while I'm thinking about it, I have a hard time getting to them. Erica from over there. Hey, y'all, go watch here. Erica was. And I may be getting people confused. And
we subscribed to the Daniels Family Homestead this morning, but we wrote it down so we can go back and watch some videos and stuff here in a little bit. So
I want to say she was trying to learn how to drive a tractor or something. Anyway, it just got me tickled. Cody said you got to hook set them. Anyway, I thought it was funny. And make sure to leave genuine comments on video. YouTube frowns on fake or emojis. Really?
Interesting.
That was. I thought it was. Erica.
We'll find that tractor video.
Yeah, just where she was learning how to.
It may bring back some memories.
So Jessica was learning to drive the tractor at the old place where we used to live, and was building a house up there. And she had me up in a tree. I had her lift me up in a bucket in the tree, trimming some branches and pulling it out. Well, I had her lower me down slowly. Well, slowly was real quick, and I about fell out of the bucket. So we didn't video that though.
Oh man, I'd like it.
That'd have been good.
I seen a catfishing video of a cat. Yeah, you suckered me in on that one. Catfishing. I can't remember how it was put. Anyway, I was like, "What in the world?" And it was a cat. They had like a little thing on a string and caught the cat.
Oh my gosh.
Tina Ladybug. I think I spoke to Tina earlier, but if I didn't, I apologize. Appreciate y'all coming in. Now, Jessica, you, from what I understand, now you wasn't raised up doing this kind of outdoorsy kind of stuff. You was
I thought I was raised a country girl because I lived in a town called Peculiar. And then when we moved out here, I realized that I had no idea what country life was like.
Yeah. You lived in a town named what?
Peculiar. It's a little bitty town, but I was in town most of it. Some of it I was out on the gravel roads, but most of my growing up life was more suburbs.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
Now she's milking goats and skinning rabbits.
Yeah.
Hey, never know where life will take you, huh? And
you sure don't.
And 3 boys to boot.
Yeah, I didn't expect that one either.
Hey, boys are cheaper to marry off.
There you go that way. There you go. Yeah.
Let me turn it. There's all 3 of them.
Football players, huh?
Little Halloween football players. I think that was last year.
Yeah.
But I imagine they probably like being out there. Got a little bit more room to run around and get into stuff. And
yeah, we have a lot of creeks, and they're rock bottom creeks, so
really?
They like to go play in the creek and fish and stuff. Our middle and youngest are still kind of going through some growing pains, I guess, of moving. They miss some of their really good friends that they had made, but they get the 4-wheelers out and they seem to kind of quickly forget about it.
Yeah, they'll disappear for a couple hours at a time back in the woods. They've got a little fort back in the cedar thickets back here, and they get back there and trim all the limbs out underneath and got them a little cubby in there and put them a fire pit, even though they're not allowed to start a fire in the cedar trees. But
hey, kids will be kids. You got to watch them. Hold on. I seen a question, and I know the answer. Was that in Missouri?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was, Rebecca.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's from Columbia, right? She's over in Columbia, Missouri.
I don't know. Rebecca, you're going to have to answer that one.
You'll
I
see.
can't remember. Yeah, I was going to mention that Glen and Jessica, they are Missouriites. Missourians. Missourians. The Missourians. They're the Tigers. Missouri Tigers. Is it Missouri Tigers?
Yeah.
Missouri. If we followed it and watched it, yeah, but we're not much on sports and stuff unless
our kids are
unless
playing.
It's our boys playing sports or something. That's the sports we follow.
Well, if I had to pull for Missouri, I wouldn't pull for them either. But I grew up in Louisiana, so I'm an LSU guy, and so don't hold that against me.
My sister lives in Louisiana right now. Her husband's from Louisiana, so that's where they're at. So
okay, what part? I mean, you don't have.
I knew you was gonna ask. It's
I don't know.
It starts. Yes, Rebecca lives in Columbia.
You're right.
It starts with a B, I think.
I have no idea.
It's south of. Is it south? Was it New Orleans that we were in?
Yeah.
South of Butte.
They're south of New Orleans about 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
Or hour and a half, not 1.5 miles.
Oh,
hour and a half.
Yeah,
I haven't had all my coffee yet.
You can't. There ain't a whole lot south of New Orleans.
You don't know where they're at. They're in Louisiana.
They're in Louisiana, yeah.
We visited them once.
Well, I mean, you can go south of New Orleans. I'm trying to think. There's a little town, Butte or Boot, Boutte, that's over there. We used to go through there all the time. I kept hearing something. They sandblasting that doggone water tank behind the house. And that's
so they were painting that not long ago, weren't they?
No, they're getting it ready to paint. They've been sandblasting it for months,
okay.
And that's just, I mean, it's loud and
that's a process taking a month.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think of water towers. They got to get all the equipment and all the stuff to hang from it. And
oh yeah.
I don't know. And my dogs, they just right beside the house. Now we're out in the country, and our neighbor has it's a cow field out there. They got cows, but they got the water tank right behind us, and that's to our little community. And so the water tower road goes in between the cow field and our property. And our dogs just cannot stand them people. They can't stand them, and they bark and bark and bark and bark, and just drives me crazy. And I know that's kind of probably hard for you to believe that I'd get worked up over something like that. But
did you know that there is a thing? It looks like an egg, and it makes a noise when the dog barks that they don't like, and they quit barking.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Now hold on, back up. There's something looks like an egg.
Yeah, I think they call it. I don't know. It looks like look up like the dog egg.
They have different
but
ones.
It looks like an egg.
I say some look like a birdhouse or just
those are
different
incognito.
Things. But you can put them outside, and like the birdhouse ones, like if your neighbors have barking dogs and you don't want to listen to their dogs bark, you got these little ones that look like a birdhouse, and you hang it on the fence in between you, and it puts out an ear-piercing noise that only the dogs can hear. Really? And they won't bark once they'll run and hide.
We had a little Yorkie that when we would go camping, she just wanted to bark her head off in the camper. And so we got one of those and put it in the camper, and she would stop barking.
Yep.
Yeah.
I apologize, Tim. You take care. You're probably already gone, but I do appreciate you coming, Tim. That is pretty cool. I'm going to have to look into that because them dogs drive me crazy.
Yeah, it did us too.
Well, we got a black lab, and he's not too bad. He's the laziest dog you ever seen in your life most of the time.
I know where ours is at. We do too.
Hero's somewhere.
He never goes hardly out of the yard. Every once in a while, if there's a stray dog or something and he don't even go too far after them because he's kind of a chicken. But he pretty much stays in the yard. He don't worry about anything. I wonder too, Zany May. But our other dog is a mix. It's a great white Pyrenees plus a hound. We're just assuming, but she barks nonstop, and she kind of likes to roam. So we got one of them collars on her.
Yep.
That's got it's an invisible, that she can only go so far. And of course, that don't work all the time if she gets real excited. But,
I don't know how far them barking things work, but I mean, if you got barking dogs all over town, just buy a few of them and just go hang them on light poles around town and stuff.
Hey, give them to your neighbors as gifts.
Yeah, hey, put batteries in this thing.
We were camping, and the people across from us had brought a dog that just barked nonstop, and they kept it outside barking. So we sent our 12-year-old on a mission. When they weren't looking, he hid it in the bush by their dog.
That's pretty cool. I think I've got to look into that. Hey, Jerry, Carpenter Self-Reliance, you want to know how to do anything? You want to know how to do it right? Check out Carpenter Self-Reliance.
What was Hog Deer's name? I forget his name. I was on your live. What was it? Cody. That's right.
Cody. Like Cody, Wyoming, I think.
Cody, our dog doesn't bark either. So not unless something startles him.
Not now.
Well, yeah,
the
one.
The Yorkies passed on.
Yeah, Hero, our black lab, he's never been a barker unless somebody just startles him. He won't bark at anything hardly. So he's just not that way.
She Organized Pineapple says that they think it's only for 15 feet or something.
Nature's doorbell.
I say I'm not sure how far it is. I know when we used it, it was in our camper for the most part, but I mean, they would, once they hear it a few times, it's like they get the hint that something is there when they bark. So even if they're away from it, they're usually not barking and stuff because they know that if they bark, that thing's going to pierce their ears a little bit. So,
the ultrasonic dog bark thing. Okay.
There you go.
I seen something. I was up at the camp last year, and a friend of mine was talking about for his garden, and he was saying he couldn't keep his dogs out the garden and blah blah blah. And I said, "Put your electric wire around it, man." And, But somebody told him that they got these things that it's like wireless that you can put them on each. Man, gun this thing. Anyway, on each end of the garden, and it kind of puts like an invisible barrier, and I think it has to do something with the ears, like you're talking about the high pitch.
That makes sense.
If anybody knows what I'm talking about, let me know.
That we got fences around ours. Our big garden's we built a wooden fence with wire on it attached to the wood, and then I've got a hot wire around the top edge of it to keep the coons and stuff out.
Yeah.
And then our raised beds, we actually just picked up some Premier One fencing, electric fencing, to put around our raised beds.
Have you seen that stuff?
I have seen it, but I have never used it.
It's neat.
It works really well, and it's super easy to move around. And if you want to relocate it or something, it is pricey though. It's not. It ain't inexpensive like your regular electric fence would be.
So, but I would think it would last for a pretty good while.
It looks like it would. Some friends of ours actually have quite a bit of it. They rotate their chickens. They graze their chickens a lot, and they rotate them in those and move it every couple of weeks, and that's what they use. But they've had theirs for a couple of years, I think. So,
is it like my brain just went dead, y'all?
It's like a woven wire, but it's electric.
It looks like a net.
Yeah, I've seen that, but is it like the solar powered?
Yes.
Yeah. This one is. You can make it where it runs, like you can plug it in on 110 if you want, but this one's just running off of solar.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was wondering because you move it around and all that, and the ones I've seen, I think they had the solar power on it, and I just think it's pretty cool.
They work really well.
How big an area did y'all get?
It comes with 100 foot of the netting fence. So our garden area is like 20 by 30 by area with the 5 beds in it. And then she just planted some blueberries and raspberry plants in there too, because we had a little extra space. So we're going to put some blueberries and raspberries in there.
What all do y'all, and I'm sorry, I get so sidetracked. I got all these things that I want to let people ask you so people know about you and all that. But what all, I know you got the chickens and the rabbits. You said you had goats but your garden. I mean, right now, to me, is the garden season.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about right now. Is what am I going to grow? I need to get in the ground. When do I need to get in the ground? Blah.
Yep.
But y'all are a little bit north of us, so probably a little bit behind as far as in the planting time.
I'd say it's a little cooler still here in the mornings. Like this morning, I think it was like 32 this morning.
Oh, good.
But there's not frost, but we do have our potatoes and our carrots, our onions, our lettuce. I think that's it right now that are in the ground. My sweet potato slips that we started about the same time, Chuck. We're actually starting to get some sprouts on the sweet potatoes over there, but they're not ready yet. They don't go in the ground until mid-May here. So
I don't think any of my sweet potatoes have done anything. I think they might have had something on them from the place.
She's gonna go grab them real quick. We've got one that sprouted quite a bit before the rest of them, but we got one that's, I don't know, it's 3 inches tall right now. But then we were looking at them the other day, and there's like 2 sprouts coming up on all the potatoes now. So, but the one that we did in the jar, in the jar,
has nothing.
It didn't do anything.
Just lots of roots.
Tons of roots, but nothing has sprouted yet on that one. And then this one here is the one that's the ones that we did in the dirt.
Okay.
And they're starting to come up pretty good.
There's extra slips coming up. This one's got 3 new ones. So
it looks like it is that roots on the one that doesn't have the leaves on it.
So there's roots all over.
Oh yeah, I see the roots up under it. Yeah.
But this one has a slip. You can't see it, but it's coming in right down here.
Okay.
So they're working.
But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff that we're getting ready for. Obviously, our grow room out there is full of plants that are just going crazy right now. We've got to get about 200 pots. We got to pluck the ones, and we're gonna we're going to repot them into other pots, which is what we usually do instead of throwing it away. So
we can't truly pluck them.
We end up replanting them, and they all do really well. So the tomatoes are all doing great. Zucchinis are towering out there right now, and the cucumbers and stuff and okras are all doing really well. Our peppers are doing good. So yeah, our greenhouse shows up today, so we're hoping to be able to relocate some to the greenhouse soon.
Y'all, all y'all in the chat, if y'all hadn't seen Glen and Jessica's, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it. But if nothing else, go watch their video. Where they got their seeds, and I mean, y'all must have 2,000 seeds. My goodness, they got a setup where their seeds at Hardnack Farms. Hey, listen, she's got pretty impressive herself. But go over there and look at Glen and Jessica's setup with their seeds and their grow lights, and it's just, I mean, they put a little bit more effort into it than I do.
We just had a really enjoyable time doing it last year, and we were in our rental home. We hadn't moved here yet, and so we used what we could, and we just kind of wanted to do it bigger scale this year, and developed what we knew worked last year and made it bigger.
It's funny you talked about that guy in that movie that was stoned out of his mind. We looked like we were a bunch of pot growers and stuff in our rental house, because the shelf was right in front of the
front and back
storm
window.
Door and the front windows of the house. We had these grow lights all lit up. So
yeah,
I'm sure people
y'all
were wondering.
Y'all had seeds. I mean, from one end of the room to the other. I don't know how many y'all had, but it was. How many did y'all wind up? Did you say?
That table holds about 400 of those 4-inch pots, and each of those pots obviously has about 2 seeds in it. So there's 800 or so to 1,000 seeds probably planted out there right now. But like I said, we're getting ready to pluck and repot. So we'll probably end up with somewhere around 700-800 plants when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Well, I noticed when I was watching it that y'all had a bunch of jars, also the mason jars, and stacks back behind. I said, "Oh man, my type of people. I love to garden. I love to can." And y'all do a lot of canning, obviously.
Well, so last year was my first year canning. We did a lot of canning, but I let a lot go, just because we were trying to homeschool the kids and run our roofing business, and I was drowning. But we plan on canning bigger scale this year. And then we also just got a freeze dryer. So we've been like, something is in that around the clock.
Yeah, it runs 24/7. So
a lot of people are looking into them freeze dryer. Tim and Trinity from Blue Collar Homestead that was on here earlier. They have one, and they've done a video or two on them. I've never thought too much about the freeze dryer part, because it takes me, I'm generally 10 years behind everybody else when it comes to, I'm just slow that way. But was you pressure canning? Was y'all pressure canning, or was you just water bath canning?
Both. We did both. We didn't do we have a hard time wanting to like go big or go home on everything. And so as we were trying to move and like get everything set up, I told him, like, let's just do a few things. Let's not get crazy here. So we just did tomatoes, salsa. We tried green beans, and they
canned good, but they were picked late.
Yeah.
So.
Well, those ones came from my brother. Our green beans didn't produce enough at the same time to even can. Our garden flooded. If you've seen any of our garden videos, like, it turned into a river. So that didn't help our green beans. But
I don't remember seeing that. How long ago has that been?
That was last year.
Right when we planted.
We planted before we actually bought the place. We actually, with a guy that owned it before us, he let us come down and actually plant the garden. So we put all of our plants in before we closed on the house. And then once we moved in and he moved out, it wasn't a week later, probably, we had some rains that he said he just once in 20 years maybe gets. and we had a foot of water running through our garden. You could barely see the tops of our plants in the garden. Yeah. And so we've done a lot of dirt work around the garden, terracing things now to keep the creeks in the banks and not in our garden. So,
but the freeze dryer thing, you really should look into that. They're a pricey little thing, but they say if you're freeze drying your stuff right, it will last for 20 to 25 years. So like eggs, goat milk,
I mean, your vegetables like your peppers, even your tomatoes and stuff like that, you can chop them up and and just like you're going to can them or whatnot, and just put them in the freeze dry them and put them in a jar, and then they'll rehydrate back to what they were when you freeze dried them.
That's to me that I have a hard time processing a lot of that in my mind. Hey, Cody, you need to let me just interject right here. Stephen from Mr. Boots and Bounty, and I know y'all probably know him. But Mr. Boots and Bounty, he does a watch and grow on Sundays at 5:00, and then a help desk on Wednesday nights, I think at 5:00 as well. But Stephen, I was going to tell you, it's Glen and Jessica. And I know you said you didn't have your list to consult. He keeps a list of all the channels, and when he finds out people's names, and that way, it's more than just a channel, that he knows the people.
Right.
So I wanted him to know your names, Glen and Jessica. Says they are in Adrian, Missouri. They the Show Me State.
Leanne just commented on there that she's got some safe canning practices on her channel, a lot of them, and I've seen a few of them, but I'm sure we'll be watching some of those this year as we're canning other items and stuff that we didn't do last year, because last year we didn't get to can as much as we would have liked, as much as I would have liked. She wanted to take it slower, but I wanted her to be up to here with canning.
Hey, I was scared. We still lived in town, and he's watching all these other YouTube women and being like, look, babe, you can make soap, and we can get goats, and you can can, and you can. And I'm going, oh my gosh, what if I hate this and I fail? And he's disappointed in me, and now here I am like, can I get this? We got to make that. We got to do this. So
you have created a monster.
I have. I'm going to go broke.
I made my first goat soap the other day. That was exciting. So I'm getting there one piece at a time.
I actually want to learn how to make soap. I've been saying I'm going to do it for a couple of years, but I just hadn't. I think I got most all the equipment that I need to do it, but I just hadn't.
It really looked pretty easy. It just took a little bit of time mixing it and stuff, because the oils the milk and the oils have to be the exact same temp. At least the recipe we did.
Yeah.
It had to be the same temp before you mixed them and stuff. So it took a little bit, but it really wasn't too bad. So,
well, they've got quite a few people on here that do the soaps, and the goat soap in particular. Now, Charity, my daughter, she has a friend that does it over there, not too far from us, and we generally try and help her out. That's where we buy a lot of ours. But I would just like to know how to do it. Just so I would know if push comes to shove that Chuck Lee can have some soap.
Yeah,
we'll mail you a bar.
We'll send you some, Chuck.
I will say, unless somebody has a better, I tried to find the most simple recipe, most simple process, because some of them have 4 or 5 different oils, stuff that I just didn't have on hand, and this one had. I think vegetable oil and olive oil, coconut oil.
We lost your voice.
We're back.
Oh, there you are. There you are. You're back.
My phone rang, and I had to ignore it so it would not disappear. But this recipe had just a few things that I already had other than the lye and the mold and stuff like that. So I got that. But I don't know. It was interesting. It seems simple, but there was a lot of different ways to do it for sure. And then it has to cure for 3 or 4 weeks. So
yeah,
kind of neat.
I imagine it is. Let me just mention here, Leanne put here, tell them to check out my collaboration on canning, What We Love and Never Again. That's a good. That's a good collaboration. If you like canning, what people like to can, what they don't like to can.
We will. I watched yours, but I haven't seen Leanne's yet. I haven't been over to watch that, and I hadn't seen too many of the others, but we will definitely check that out.
It's on my list.
If you've seen mine and you've seen Leanne's, you've seen all that you need to see, really. No, I'm just kidding. And also this, she says, I make a vegan soap.
Huh.
What in the world? You got to explain that.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to know what would a vegan soap be for?
Yeah, I see.
No milk.
I guess we could use it if we were vegan and putting it in the kid's mouth or something, but I don't know what.
No, if you're vegan, they don't like to use any animal products, and most soaps have, well, a lot of the trending soap recipes, anyways, have a milk base, and that would be not vegan.
Oh yeah, and Tony Renee, she has a great video on that collab.
Tony Renee.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble.
Hey, I stay in trouble. Hey, she knows I was joking. Charity said, Carrie is the girl that's Charity's friend that makes the soap, the goat soap.
38 channels on the playlist for the
beeswax collaboration. Vegan.
Yeah, beeswax is not vegan. Now, we didn't have beeswax in our recipe, but I do have beeswax. My brother raises bees, and I didn't know what I was getting into. He offered to let me collect the beeswax, thinking I would make candles and stuff. I had no idea what I was getting into. I had so many pans of hot water that I had to dump outside so that stuff wasn't going down my drain. It was a disaster.
I'm glad it's so.
But I got the
very
beeswax.
Thick and sticky. You almost ruin your dishes trying to do it.
I've got a disc of beeswax that's probably that big and that thick, though.
Well, that's cool.
That's neat.
Cool.
Yeah, bees are one of the next homestead critter animals that we're gonna get. Insects, whatever you want to call them. We've got some fruit trees and stuff, and with the garden, we're gonna try and get some bees out here from her brother. So
she said that she got the Rocky Mountain Tick Figure and had to change to vegan and gluten free. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Boy, that done a number on you, didn't it? My brother got that one time, and he was sick. Listen, just for the record, I was just joking about all that canning stuff. Y'all don't come at me with pitchforks now. That is a good. Leanne it's a good canning collaboration. A lot of good folks on there, and of course, I mean, who doesn't like Leanne? Everybody likes Leanne, and she's going to tell you how to do it right. You pretty much know that. If she shows you how to shut a car door, you know that's the proper way to shut a car door. She just knows how to do it.
Now we're not against the vegan stuff either. I have a ulcerative colitis, which is an issue with my stomach and all that. So we actually went vegan for about 3 months to see if that would help with my stomach problems and stuff. So, but it really isn't a bad way to eat. It was actually, a lot of it was pretty tasty. So
yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of it that you do what you have to do. I don't eat onions, and I've eaten onions all my life. And a few years ago, I noticed every time I'd go to the camp, we'd always cook like gumbos and stuff with a lot of onions in it, and man, I'd start getting sick. My legs would swell up, and I thought, it's just old age. And but I'd get over it after about a week or so, and the next thing I do it again. I noticed there was a pattern, if you will, and every time I'd eat them onions, I'd get sick. So I try not to eat them anymore.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, and I like onions.
Yeah,
I really do like them, especially when you put them in like a sauce pecan or a gumbo or a whatever you melt them, Nah, my brain just went dead.
We put onions in almost everything, so that would definitely be a game changer.
Yeah, it is. It's a game changer. It's tough when you get when you have issues like that. I just noticed the time, y'all, and I didn't realize we had been talking for near about an hour. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Now I still eat some every once in a while. I just suffer through it. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, Leanne, I don't know how. Leanne puts a lot of good recipes, and she knows how to cook and bake and all that kind of stuff. And every time I watch one of her videos, I say, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, but I never do.
I'll have to check her out.
So we figured out that since the vegan thing wasn't really helping my situation any, I wanted my meat back. So
I understand. Tony, I don't know. I don't know. I hadn't tried all that. I'm kind of scared to be honest with you. I'm kind of scared to do research on my body.
And when we went vegan too, the kids suffered a little bit too because we made them go vegan with us. Somewhat. They every once in a while they got some meat and stuff, but it was easier to cook for everybody than different meals. So.
But now we're back at it with chickens and rabbits.
I have about
cheeseburger and French fry casserole.
Looked at what was I going to say, y'all? My brain just went dead. Oh yes, tomato gravy. Don't forget tomato gravy. Hey, that tomato gravy is good stuff. If it surprised me how many people didn't know what in the world tomato gravy was.
Yeah, that is.
But it's really, really good. You'll
have to do a video on it, Chuck, so we can see what it is.
What's that?
You'll have to do a video on the mater gravy so we can see.
Yeah, I have to do a mater gravy video. Yeah.
I've not heard of that.
You had I got a video on it. I thought you was making a joke. You got to watch my mater gravy video.
Oh, we'll have to go back and check it out then.
It's just recent. It's recent.
Okay.
It's just a little short video. I thought it was going to be a in-depth video because Glenda said she was going to cook it. And I said, well, I'm getting my camera out. I'm going to, it wasn't nothing to it. I said, are you kidding me? I got my camera out for this. So we had to kind of make it a goofy video.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it if it's pretty recent, because I usually when we subscribe to a channel or something, we usually hit the bell too, the notification deal. So it usually notifies us when everybody puts a video up, so I know to go and watch them. So
we'll watch it today.
It's Blenda has the video on it.
Okay.
Y'all, I do appreciate y'all coming. I hate our time just seemed like it just went right on by.
It's easy to do.
Well, sometimes it is. Most people that I get on here, I really enjoy their channels, and I really enjoy what they do. And so the time goes by pretty quick because there's always something to talk about. But I don't know if I've had one go quite this quickly. Y'all, everybody go look up the Yvette brothers, How I Got to Memphis.
Oh, here. I was like,
so I said I was looking for somebody in the chat that showed up.
The Yvette brothers, How I Got to Memphis, and y'all all be having a better day. That's right. Friendships are incredible. We've got to know so many people, and to me, when I have you on a live, it just means I get to know you a little bit better, and I like that, and I appreciate y'all coming on so much. And
thanks for having us. Really
enjoy your channel. Y'all gonna have to go over there and subscribe and watch to figure out how what all I'm trying to describe in a very, very terrible way, I know, but get over there and check them out. I think you'll enjoy them. I did from the very start. I really liked them. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to get on to her. Andrea from Digging for Help. She's like, I can't ever get up and around, and I miss you live. And she always comes back and watches them. But me and hers got a little thing. I was going to get her to do something. I appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming. And yeah, we're trying to get it. It takes me an hour and a half. I'm Southern. It takes me an hour and a half to say goodbye. But anyway, I was going to get Digging for Health, and I'm going to get up with it, y'all. There's this channel. She don't have very many subscribers, called Sweet King's Garden. Sweet little young lady, not a little girl, but I guess in my mind she is. She's just probably about my daughter's age. And I don't even think she's got 100 subscribers. I may be wrong, but I got over there and I mentioned them during one of my lives or something, and she got a few more subscribers. But what I want to do, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to organize it, is when she comes out with a video, I want to get Andrea from Digging for Help to write a comment, and then everybody write up under Andrea's comment. You know, just one long stream, and see how long we can get it. Just that one, you know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense? I know it probably sounds silly, but I just think it would be cool to just have one long comment.
There you go.
There you go. Takes me.
It's all about supporting each other. That's what I think we've enjoyed so much about like the homesteading lifestyle is the community. It's not a competition of who's better. It's all about building each other up, you know, and that's what love does, is builds each other up, and we like it.
Y'all, I'm gonna have to get off here. I think Ann Dale generally has hers at 10, and I have gone over my time, and I apologize for that. But Glenn, Jessica, thank y'all. Thanks
for having us.
It was nice meeting you, Chuck, and face to face. So
Randy's finally come in, or
oh no.
And all of y'all in the chat, if I have missed you, I'm so sorry. Hey, you know me by now, hopefully. I'll just get sidetracked. Next week, I'm going to have Scott with Ramblin' with the Brum. He was supposed to be on last week, but he had a doctor's appointment that he couldn't get out of. But so it's going to be next week at 9:00. So Scott with Ramblin' with the Brooms is going to be with us. So y'all be sure and check that out. Everybody, thank y'all. God bless you. We love y'all. And we'll see y'all down the road somewhere. Talk to y'all later.